Welcome back to Bombastic Nation and Ting and Ting and Ting. Back with another vibe for you, And this one is called 10 Dark Nursery Rhymes. The origins. When you're in school, you hear all this nursery rhymes, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs and folktale stories and stuff like that, and you don't know where it came from. So, we're going to dive into this and see the origins of some of the dark nursery rhymes and things that, you probably heard when you was a kid. Let's go ahead and YouTube and simmer.
Nursery rhymes are told to all young children. They're jolly, easy to understand, and often educational. But some aren't quite as innocent as they seem. We tend to forget how much a tale can change as it's passed on from one century to the next. Peter Pumpkin Eater had a wife and couldn't keep her. He put her in a pumpkin shell, and there he kept her very well. Older versions of this rhyme suggest Peter was a real man. His wife was unfaithful to him, possibly a prostitute, and out of jealousy he murdered her and hid her body. Older sources tell he hid the corpse in a chimney instead of a pumpkin. It's thought the rhyme was told as a warning to young girls. Never be unfaithful or you might get murdered. Mary, Mary, quite contrary, how does your garden grow? With silver bells and cockle shells, and pretty maids all in a row. The charming nature of this rhyme may lead you to believe otherwise, but its origin is incredibly dark. It refers to Mary Tudor, the Queen of England who went down in history as Bloody Mary. The line, how does your garden grow, describes the ever-growing number of Protestants she had executed. It's generally believed the last two lines refer to torture devices put to use against her victims. This origin is disputed amongst experts, but seems to be the most likely version. Ring-a-ring of roses, a pocket full of posies, ashes, ashes, we all fall down. This rhyme has a number of possible origins, one of which is the Great Plague of London, which killed 15% of the population. The last line is said to refer to the burning of plague-infected corpses and to the plague's economic aftermath. Another possible origin is paganism. Being Christian for most of our history, pagan rituals were outlawed. But some pagan rituals were disguised as innocent dances.
I used to watch kids play that all the time when I was growing up. I don't think kids play that much anymore, but I used to watch that ring around the rosy thing there, playing it out in the backyard while I'm sitting there. That's crazy. We didn't think it came from the plague vibe.
Goosey, goosey, gander, whither shall I wander? Upstairs and downstairs, and then in my lady's chamber. There I met an old man who wouldn't say his prayers, so I took him by his left leg and threw him down the stairs. This bizarre rhyme seems innocent until it suddenly doesn't. It's referring to the persecution of Catholics, which was a fact of life at one time. If caught praying in Latin rather than English, you may have been subjected to acts of violence.
What?
Catholic officials would hide within secret hiding places known as priest holes.
Dude, what is that all about? I was raised Catholic. They use Latin in the churches all the time down where I am. Not only that, they taught Latin in the schools. So what is the vibe with them killing them if they don't say it in English and do it in Latin instead? I didn't even know this. This is trippy.
Mary Ann Cotton, she's dead and she is rotten, lying in bed with her eyes wide open. Sing, what song should I sing? Mary Ann Cotton is tied up in string. As you would assume, this rhyme isn't of purely innocent origins. The woman described in it was a serial killer. She was executed in 1873 after being found guilty of 21 murders. She was especially notorious for murdering family members, including her 4 husbands and 11 children.
I'm staying single.
Georgie Porgie, Pudding and Pie kissed the girls and made them cry. When all the boys came out to play, Georgie Porgie ran away. There has been much debate over who the real Georgie Porgie was, and over what the rhyme means. I think the most likely candidate is King George IV. He was very plump, which explains the first line. The second line can be chalked up to him being an aggressive womanizer. People would even warn single women to stay away from him, as you can't really say no to a king, but he also wasn't known for treating women with respect. As for the third line, he was a physical coward. Satire of the day mocked him for his lack of bravery. Little boy blue, come blow your horn. The sheep's in the meadow, the cow's in the corn. But where is the boy who looks after the sheep? He's under a haystack, he's fast asleep. Will you wake him? No, not I. For if I do, he's sure to cry. Now this may seem a little far-fetched, but some claim this rhyme is to do with masturbation. I'd refer you to the second and eighth lines. Another possible origin is an act of bestiality. Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown, and Jill came tumbling after. This was a favourite of mine when I was a human child, but I had no idea it may have been inspired by the execution of Charles I. He was the unpopular king during the English Civil War. His authority was undermined by foreign wars and tax reforms, especially concerning a tax on drinks. After losing the war, the monarchy was abolished. Jack fell down and broke his crown. London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. London Bridge is falling down, my fair lady. They say this rhyme originated as a warning in support of child sacrifice. For much of human history, children would be murdered and have their corpses buried at the foundations of new buildings. Bridges would almost always have this done. The ghost of the dead child would watch over the bridge. So in the rhyme, the bridge fell because it had no dead child at its foundations. It could have been based on a much older bridge and then adapted to fit London. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a tiger by the toe. If it hollers, let it go. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. By far the most annoying nursery rhyme. And that is saying a lot. We can't know the exact origins of this one. We can, however, look at some much older and much darker versions of the rhyme. In the most notorious, the word tiger does not feature, but instead, this version dates to before the abolition of slavery and is thought to be related to North American folklore in some way.
Wait a minute. Which one was that? Let's go back here.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
We said that stuff when we were kids, not knowing that that's where it came from. Wow. Revisionist history, huh? Revise it so it's a nursery rhyme that we would say, and it's something negative about us. That is crazy. That is crazy. You know, if you notice, a lot of these nursery rhymes had something to do with like a leader, a king, or somebody like that. What would somebody say if they wrote a nursery rhyme about, let's say, Bill Clinton, or let's say Barack Obama, or George Bush, or Trump? Wonder what those nursery rhymes would be like. That would be interesting. Somebody ought to come up and do that. Maybe I might. Who knows? Anyway, man, thank you all for watching this with me. This was certainly interesting. A bunch of nursery rhymes that I said when I was a kid and didn't even know the origins of the vibe and thing. And now I know. Man, the things you learn as you grow older. But I'll leave the link in the description for this video. We'll check out the vibe on there and thing. But keep watching my stuff, man. It's right there. Just click on it. And up here somewhere, there's going to be a little circle thing that's going to pop up and show you some stuff, more stuff. It's going to have the the list on it, you know what I mean? What do they call those things? You know what I'm talking about, man. The playlist, bam, click on that, boom. Go watch the vibe and thing. In the meantime, take care of each other, all right? Take care of each other. Cool running.